Welcome to Moose Plays, everyone. I'm the Liquor Moose, and today we will be going over my Week 8 battle for the second season of the UPA D-League. This week we will be going up against Derp, aka Justin, coach of the LA Kingdras, and yeah, surprisingly enough, my voice is actually not as bad as it was in the team builder. Still not up to perfect, but with where it is, I'm perfectly fine with this. I'm still a little bit purple from Frost Week. If you guys didn't watch my team builder, you would know that I was heavily involved with my university's Frost Week last week, or I guess this week. And yeah, so I was yelling for basically 5 days straight, which is why my voice was pretty shot in the team builder. A little bit better today, but either way, we also dye ourselves purple. We are engineers. That's just what we do. And yeah, but most importantly, because it was Frost Week, I didn't really have an immense amount of time to prep. I was just like busy throughout like all 5 days straight, pretty much all day throughout all of them. So unfortunately, my prep is not exactly. I can't say that my prep isn't optimal, but I didn't get to prep as much as I would have liked to, for sure. But yeah, also on top of that, Justin does not have a logo, which, I mean, that's totally fine. Like, I mean, it's his choice to have a logo or not, but yeah, on screen you'll see just something I kind of whipped together. Not much, really, but either way, yeah, so Week 8, we are currently 4-3, and honestly, based on some of the results that I already know from this week, I definitely want to win this game, because that would basically put me much ahead, or I can't say much ahead, that's really bad grammar. It would put me further ahead in the playoff race than some of the other teams that have lost this week, which is really important. Unfortunately, Justin hasn't had the best season, but we still cannot take anyone, we cannot underestimate anyone, sorry, and yeah, we definitely want to try our best, and we really want to win this game to hopefully propel ourselves forward into the playoff race. So, with that in mind, like I mentioned before, I did upload a team builder, so a link to that will be in the description below if you guys want to find out what specifically I'm bringing. But for just a quick overview, we have a bulk invested, bulk up Megaane. We have an Assault Vest Tornadus T. We have a physically defensive Rocky Helmet Skarmory. We have a physically defensive, or I guess more so a mixed defensive Alamamala. Then we have a Choice Scarf Hydreigon, and then we have a 4 attacks Jolteon. Looking at what Justin brought to the table, he brought the Mega Scizor, the Kyurem Black, the Azelf, the Crocodile, the Togekiss, and the Aerodactyl. And I mean, I can't say there's too many surprises, but I am very surprised that the Infernape and the Serperior aren't here. Serperior more so because, like, if I don't handle it properly, it can just go out of control. And even though I think I had a decent check to it, and like Serperior can just by far just go out of control, more so than any of the other Ultra Beasts for sure. And I was actually very surprised not to see Infernape. I thought like a mixed Infernape set would do very well against me. But yeah, obviously that's not here. And then the other thing, unfortunately there's no Quagsire, so a lot of the grass coverage I packed on some of my Pokemon, pretty much useless, but I mean, I'm just going to have to play around that. There's no big deal for that. So, looking at the lead matchup, I see an Azelf there. It's a pretty common lead to lead with Azelf, and then, like, Stealth Rock's just Explosion. Especially seeing that he has led with that quite a few times this season. So I am actually going to lead with my Scarf Hydreigon, as if he's not bulk invested or Focus Sash, Dark Pulse is a guaranteed kill from here. So I am just going to go into my Hydreigon, but Justin actually leads with his Aerodactyl, which is another suicide lead. I don't really want to reveal, like, I can't kill this, so I don't want to reveal that I'm Scarf yet either. So I do hard switch into my Skarmory, which can basically take any hit that this Aerodactyl wants to go for. But as we see here, Justin does decide to set up his rocks. If you watch the team builder, you know that Skarmory is my defogger this game, so I'm just going to go right ahead and go for the defog. But like we see here, Justin packs a taunt on his Aerodactyl, which is a pretty obvious bring, but I mean, I honestly kind of just overlooked it. And unfortunately, once again, I brought the no attacking moves Skarmory, so my Skarmory is completely shut down by Taunt Aerodactyl. So unfortunately, I am forced to switch out here, as I obviously do not want to click the struggle button. And I decided to switch out into my Alamamala, as without reveal, basically, if I stay in with my Skarmory, even though this would by far be the best thing that I have to take hits from the Aerodactyl, it would very clearly reveal that I do not have any attacking moves, which I don't want. So the next best thing that I have to deal with this Aerodactyl, especially seeing that Justin did not bring the Infernape, is my Alamamala, so I am going to switch directly out into that. But as we see here, Justin also switches out into his Azelf, and I have no idea what this Azelf wants to do since it wasn't lead. So basically, to try to scout, like, I kind of expect him to click the Nasty Plot button here, I'm not going to lie. So if that's the case, like I already know Aloe is definitely the most expendable member on my team, since I have a Skarmory to check his Scizor, and there's no Infernape here. So basically, I use this turn to scout. If he has Specs, I think he guarantee knocks me out with Thunderbolt, but only Thunderbolt. I guess Energy Ball too if he has that instead. But yeah, other than that, like if he's not Specs Thunderbolt, I do expect him to set up here. So basically, my best middle ground play is to talk to this thing and get this on a timer, so that way, if he's like Weakness Berry or something like that, I can hopefully like wear down some turns from timers, so that way I can guarantee kill with my Dark Pulse from my Hydreigon. So basically, I will just click the Toxic button right here, but as we see here, he goes for the Power Up Punch, and it was actually kind of a low roll. I was wondering, like, it was a low roll on max attack, Azelf. So yeah, when I see the Power Up Punch here, I do kind of anticipate Explosion. The +1 Explosion could not kill me from there, so I wasn't really worried about it there. As we do see here, he does throw off another Power Up Punch. And now from here, Explosion, I think, I don't remember if Explosion kills from here. I don't think it does, though. If it does, it's a roll. But yeah, so after I throw up a Wish to try to heal, once I threw up that Wish, I felt it was pretty obvious that I also had Protect, so I didn't really think that Justin would go for the explosion button right away, which is why I decided to go for the Scald here instead of protecting. As we do see here that Justin does decide to go for the Power Up Punch once again, as I do fire off the Scald, and that Scald does nothing. Like, that Scald does literally nothing. I know I'm not attack invested, but this is an Azelf. It turns out this is a pretty Spadef invested, I guess he could have been Assault Vest as well, if he only had attacks. But yeah, this is a pretty bulky Azelf. Like, that Scald did absolutely nothing. It should have done like around 20%, I think. But yeah, so he's either bulky or he's Assault Vest. But based on the Power Up Punch calcs, I'm pretty sure he was just bulky. But either way, now that I've gotten the Wish up, I at +3 attack. I don't remember if Explosion kills from here, I'll be honest, but what I do know is that I think he's going to wait until the last turn before Toxic kills him to click the Explosion button. So what I am going to do, right, I do remember. So if he is no attack invested, Explosion cannot kill. So what I'm actually going to do is throw off a Wish. As we do see here that Justin actually misses a Zen Headbutt, which isn't that big of a deal as I do throw off the Wish. As you'll see here in a second, the Explosion could kill from here, but since I am anticipating Explosion, I do decide to protect. So yeah, his Azelf goes down, which is really good. And yeah, so obviously his that Zen Headbutt at +3 would have done like 52 max, I think. So like obviously with the Wish and leftovers, I would have been at full health anyways after that protect. I was protecting either way, even if he did hit me, because obviously I did not want this thing to go down to Explosion or like get heavily dented by Explosion. So in the end, that Zen Headbutt miss did not matter. As Justin does send out this Togekiss, I have no idea what this Togekiss wants to do, so I do just fire off the Toxic to get it on a timer. As we do see, he tricks the Choice Scarf onto my Alomomola, which, if Alomomola wasn't the most expendable member now, it 100% is. So yeah, I go into like my quote-unquote check to this, which is my Jolteon, as he goes for the Fire Blast and actually misses, which is unfortunate. I did have a bit of bulk investment, so it was like, there was no way that was killing. I think it was like a 3-hit KO or something like that. It wasn't too big of a deal, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, so with this in mind, I did show him that my switch into this is my Jolteon. So I'm actually going to pull a double here, anticipating his switch into Crocodile, as HP Grass actually isn't a 2-hit KO, unfortunately, because since it's nothing super effective against it, or 4 times super effective against it anyways. So I am actually going to switch into my Skarmory here, basically to try to catch the oh my god, the Crocodile on the switch, and because of that, like it was kind of the middle ground play, because it's good if he switches into the Crocodile, as like he doesn't have, like, he can't damage me all that much. But at the same time, if Justin does stay in with his Togekiss, it's by far the thing I want to take Dazzling Gleams and Air Slashes from the most. So I am just going to switch into my Skarmory here, as we do see here that Justin does switch, but not into the Crocodile, instead into the Scizor, and that's actually great, because that, like, one, Scum raised my check to the Scizor, and two, Scizor can't learn Taunt, which I was going to have to play around if he did switch into the Skarmory there. So I can 100% freely defog here, which is absolutely my play. As we do see here, I get that off, and Justin actually goes for the U-turn. So we get a bit of Rocky Helmet damage onto his Scizor, and Justin then decides to go into his Crocodile. So anticipating either a taunt or a knockoff, I am going to switch into my Gallade here, as knockoff doesn't do too much as we see here, and I get the +1 attack boost. So now this is probably the freest Drain Punch of my life, I'm not going to lie, unless Justin hard switched into his Togekiss. Unfortunately, Justin is carrying the Rocky Helmet, so yeah. Luckily, we do knock out this Crocodile, but now Justin does have free reign to go into his Togekiss. Since I don't have Poison Jab on my spread, I really can't do anything to this. So once again, I do go out into my Jolteon to try to check this, and now this is free reign for me to Volt Switch since he doesn't have an Electric Immunity. As we see, that Air Slash doesn't do too much, and I get a little bit of Leftovers recovery back. And this Togekiss is going to be slowly worn down by the Toxic. So unfortunately, Justin does stay in. I thought he was going to switch, but at the same time, Thunderbolt was not a kill. This damage does reveal, by the way, like all those attacks reveal that he is offensive Togekiss. So yeah, Thunderbolt was not a words. Thunderbolt could not kill this from here. And I thought it would have. I kind of needed this still. Since I am max speed, I would speed tie his Aerodactyl if it is max speed. So I definitely need to keep this around over anything else. So I do Volt Switch here. Unfortunately, I thought he was going to switch out, but he doesn't. So I will go out into my Tornadus here, as it is after the Scizor. Since my Aloe is pretty expendable now, I need my Scizor to check. Or sorry, I need my Skarmory to check his Scizor. So the next best thing to take hits is definitely my Tornadus, since with Assault Vest I'm not taking a ridiculous amount of damage. But yeah, so now here I'm actually going to go for the Heat Wave here, because Heat Wave isn't a guaranteed kill. It's close. The min roll is 26 and he's at 28, but that does mean it's guaranteed that Toxic kills it afterwards. And then if he switches out into a Scizor, then I just get a huge chunk of damage and possibly knock out with Heat Wave. So I will click the Heat Wave button here, but unfortunately I miss, which isn't too big of a deal, as Air Slash can't kill from here and I can always Regenerator that off. But now Justin is in a range where Heat Wave is a guaranteed kill, so I do click that, and luckily we land this time, and this Togekiss goes down. And like we see here, Justin goes into his Aerodactyl, which is a good play. Fearing the Rock move, since I do kind of want to keep the Tornadus around, just in case for the Heat Wave stuff on the Scizor, like, or like as another sack later. I don't feel sacking this right now is in my best interest, but what is definitely in my best interest to sack here is definitely that Choice Locked Alamamala. Like, that thing is literally doing nothing. But something that is of note is that Justin doesn't really want to switch into Scald right now, so I'm just gonna lock myself into Scald and hope to get some burns. Unfortunately, this Scald on the Kyurem doesn't burn. Again, like I said in the team builder, I really cannot switch into Kyurem. So basically, I plan to chip this down and revenge with something else, because if I try to predict stuff on what attacks he would go for and he gets the upper hand on me, then another one of my Pokemon that is absolutely more important than a Choice Locked Alamamala is going down. So yeah, I'm just going to sack my Alamamala in exchange for a little bit of chip onto this Kyurem Black. As we do see here, Justin goes for the Earth Power. Doesn't do too much, but he does get the Spadef drop. And again, I'm just going to keep going for Scald, and like we see here, we actually do catch the burn on the Scald that we're on the same odds we're supposed to get the Scald burn. And here's actually kind of important, because he doesn't reveal that his Kyurem is, or he reveals that his Kyurem is not Scarfed, which is really good information for me to know. So in my mind, I'm thinking it's either Z or Weakness Berry. More than likely Z, since it is a Z user. So here, I'm definitely going to go into my Mega Gallade here, as assuming he's not Shuffle Berry, Drain Punch does kill from here, but also, since he is burned, he doesn't have anything that can 2-hit KO me. So I'm pretty free to set up a bulk up here. As we see, Justin does switch into his Mega Scizor, and this is really good, because Mega Scizor was the thing I planned to set up on with my Gallade all along. So as we see here, I go for another bulk up, and now I can kill literally everything on Justin's team. He goes for the Swords Dance, so I do click the Fire Punch button. The thing I do want to point out though here is I'm a little surprised he didn't go for Bullet Punch, because if he had Bullet Punch here, I guess the one scenario doesn't really matter. Anyways, if you click Bullet Punch here, then he brings my Gallade into a range where Wing Attack from Life Orb Aerodactyl could kill. So I'm a little surprised he didn't have that there, unless I guess he maybe wasn't He maybe wasn't life or wing attack. I thought it was a decent bring, but either way, I clicked the fire punch button, and we're still at full health, so this Scizor goes down. And yeah, now the next two things die to Drain Punch, so I am very free to click Drain Punch. Since he didn't get the Bullet Punch damage on me, if he does have wing attack, it doesn't kill. Obviously, that Stone Edge Mist did not matter since I resist and I'm at +2 defense. And that Drain Punch just outright kills, and then all that's left is the Kyurem, which we can confirm is not Scarf. And this Mega Gallade is going to pick up four kills, which is insane, and that is going to be GG Justin. And the Toronto Razor Leafs have won their Week 8 match 5-0, and yeah, that was honestly, that was a huge confidence booster. Like both, like the match against Bird was amazing, and that was a good confidence booster, and then this one was really good because, like, honestly, before those two, like my past two games against Carson and then Clyde, like with me basically choking those games away, that put me down. Like that did not feel good. So having like that really close and really exciting win against Bird, and then having this relatively big win against Justin, like those are just two really good confidence boosters for me. So yeah, now I'm really happy with this. Again, GG to Justin. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any links on the doc, so I can't link you to him. But he seems like a pretty good guy. We were joking about he definitely should have brought Cosmog this game. Otherwise, he wouldn't have missed all that stuff with his Togekiss and stuff like that. So yeah. Again, GG to Justin. You guys should tune in next week for when we go up against another familiar opponent. Actually, we're going up against Evader, aka Ethan, coach of the New York Scrafties. And yeah, so keep your guys out on the channel. Oh, right. So I did mention the team builder. We made transactions. I will not make a separate video about it because this is not an upload required league anyways, but in the next team builder video and probably the next battle, I don't know, but definitely the next team builder video, I will go over the changes. But yeah, so that's about it. Keep your eyes out on the channel next week for the team builder for against Ethan, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.